Got a few people who want to take it, so welcome to the class. So we're going to start today in Tadasana. So come to stand on your mat. And you can stand towards the top because we're going to do a flow immediately afterwards. Morning, Julie. See you now. Okay, so come to stand on your mat. I'm going to face you. So my theme this week was guided by the fact that last Friday it was World Earth Day. Excuse me. So I think, what should we do to make to recognize this World Earth Day? So I'm just muting you all. Sorry, I should have done that before. So I've come up with a class that's all about grounding. So we've got some nice strengthening standing poses and grounding into the earth. So as you stand here to start the class, really spread your toes and really feel that connection, excuse me, with the earth. So if you lift your toes away from the mat and then place them down, and try to find some separation in the toes as you place them down. You might have to sort of work your feet into the mat to do that, because our toes don't behave when we ask them to move. They don't move as well as our hands. So just get that connection, really feel as though all the four corners of our feet. So if you think from the big toe to the little toe, and then 2 points on your heel, feel as though all those corners of the feet are connected. And then working your way up from the soles of your feet, up your shins to your knees, find some softness there. And then up to your hips. Your hips are stacked above your knees. To your shoulders are stacked above the hips, and relax the shoulders down. Just allow your arms to rest alongside your body. Your chin is parallel to the floor. And feel as though you're sending the top of the head, crown of the head, up towards the ceiling. So you're finding a nice long straight spine. And just take a moment here just to feel that strong Tadasana, that connection with the mat. And you can either soften your gaze or close your eyes if you feel balanced enough to do that. I know sometimes as we close our eyes first thing in the morning, we get a little bit wobbly. And if that's happening, just try and contain that wobble. But make sure you're not locking your knees in order to do that, because that's the first place we go to. We lock the knees and we create some tension to keep that upright spine. So just breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. Take a few nice deep breaths. So as you're breathing in, filling your lungs with air, feel how the lungs are expanding in 360-degree direction all around the base of the lungs, base of the ribs. And as you breathe out, feel as though you're dropping into the mat. Really find that connection with the earth. Just take another deep breath here. And out. And then on your next exhalation, drop your chin to your chest. Gently blink your eyes open and lift your head. So let's get some movement going in our bodies. So standing up straight and tall, still finding that connection with the mat. Inhale, send your hands out wide, reach up and overhead. The palms are facing each other. As you exhale, bring your hands together all the way through the midline, down towards the mat. Inhale and slide yourself all the way back up. Do that once more. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands through the midline, just gently down towards the mat. Uttanasana, but we're not overdoing it. Inhale and bringing yourself back up. Really feel the connection with the mat. Do that once more. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale through the midline, all the way down to the mat. Inhale and just slide yourself all the way back up. Relax the shoulders. Just let everything settle. So really feel as though your feet are planted in the mat. Next, inhalation. Take your hands up and overhead. Take your gaze to your palms. And as you exhale, bringing them all the way through the midline once more, all the way down to the mat. This time, plant your hands or your fingertips on the mat, dropping the crown of the head towards the mat. Inhale and slide your hands up to your shins. Find that half forward fold. Exhale, take your hands back to the mat. So have a bend in your knees, enough so that your hands will plant on the mat. Inhale, send your right leg back. Exhale your left. You're in downward facing dog. Just have a few breaths here and walk the feet, one then the other, easing out into those hamstrings. Just dropping your head through your arms. That's it. Keep breathing. And then allow your heels to rest towards the mat. So a lovely downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, take your knees to the mat. You're in all fours. So we're going to come down into our chaturanga. So inhale, lift your toes away from the mat, cross your feet at the ankles, and as you exhale, slide your chin and your chest forward and through and come into cobra. So squeeze those shoulder blades together, elbows to the side of the body, toes are pressing down into the mat. Inhale, toes into the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just find that down dog. Inhale and step your right foot up towards your hands. So your foot is coming between your hands. And as you exhale, drop your left knee down to the mat. Inhale and reach your right hand up to the ceiling. Your left hand is just resting on your left thigh. Just take a breath here. Really send the sole of your right foot into the mat. Reaching up. Inhale. Exhale, take the hands back to the mat. Inhale, step your foot forward, you're back in Uttanasana, forward fold. Drop the top of your head towards the mat. Inhale and reach your hands out wide, slowly, slowly coming up, reaching them up to the ceiling. Plant your feet into the mat. Exhale your hands to the heart center. Take a breath here. Inhale, reach your hands up and overhead. Exhale through the midline all the way down to Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins, half forward fold. So remember to send the crown of the head out in front of you, your chin slightly tucked. Exhale, send your hands back to the mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, step your right leg back, step your left leg back, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right leg forward. Yes, we're still doing the right leg. Lower the left leg. Inhale, right hand comes up. Exhale, take your hands back to the mat. Inhale, downward facing dog. Release that leg. Downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Take your knees back to the mat. We're in all fours. Inhale, cross your feet at the ankles. Exhale, chaturanga, chin and chest sliding through. Back into cobra. Squeeze the shoulders together. Inhale, toes into the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right leg forward. Step your left leg forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale and slowly, slowly, slowly come up. Reaching your hands up and overhead. Exhale to the heart center. So it's a nice flowing sequence. We worked on our right side that time, so we're going to do the same working on our left side. So standing in Tadasana, hands to the heart center, shoulders are down and relaxed. Really plant the feet into the mat. Softness in your knees. Inhale, reach your hands up and overhead. Take your gaze to your palms. Exhale through the midline all the way down to the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Drop your head towards the mat. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins, half forward fold. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, step your left leg back, step your right leg back, downward facing dog. Enjoy that down dog. Allow your ears to come between your arms. Send your heels to the mat, hips up to the ceiling. Inhale, knees to the mat. We're in all fours. Release your feet. We're going to chaturanga down. Inhale, cross your feet at the ankles. As you exhale, your chin and your chest to the mat. Keep your hips up. Slide through. Cobra pose. Squeeze the shoulders together. Inhale, toes into the mat. Lift yourself up and away. Downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And as you exhale, step that left leg forward. Release the right knee to the mat. Inhale, reaching up, right, left arm reaches, right arm is just resting on your right thigh. Inhale, exhale, hands to the mat. Step your right foot forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, slowly coming up, reaching up and overhead. Really plant those feet into the mat. Exhale to the heart center. Let's continue. Just take one more breath here. And then inhale, reach your hands up and overhead. Exhale through the midline, all the way down to the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, step your left leg back, your right leg back. You're in downward facing dog. Really work into that down dog. Feeling the back release. Feeling the backs of the hamstrings. Enjoy your down dog. Inhale, exhale, step the left leg back. Lower your right knee. Inhale, lift your left arm. Right arm is just resting on the thigh, on your right thigh. Inhale, exhale, hands to the mat. Step the left leg back, downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, all fours. Release your feet. Inhale, exhale, cross the feet at the ankles, chaturanga down, chin and chest, your hips up, slide through, cobra pose. Inhale, toes to the mat, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Inhale, exhale, left leg steps forward, right leg steps forward. You're in Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale and slowly, slowly, slowly bring yourself up, reaching your hands up and overhead. Exhale to the heart center. So, hope that's woken up your bodies, got some energy flowing. Feel that connection with the mat. Just stand and let everything settle. Relax your shoulders. Let the weight drop into the mat. We're going to move into Utkatasana, chair pose. So as you breathe in, reach your hands forward. And as you exhale, sit back into your imaginary chair. Inhale, reach those arms up and overhead. Exhale, sweep them back, stand up straight. Do that once more. Inhale, reach the hands forward. Exhale, sit down into your chair. Really ground your feet so the weight is even through your feet. Feel it. I know that the weight moves into your heels here, but try and get that weight balanced over your feet. And remember this lower back. We're not creating an arch here. We tuck the lower back under. Inhale and reach the arms up. Exhale, release. Just going to do that once more. Inhale, and hands go forward. Exhale, sitting down into your imaginary chair. Tuck that pelvis under. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, release. Whew. That gets the heart going, doesn't it? So we're going to try a balance now. Let's see how we are this morning. And we balance in our tree pose. So find your Tadasana. Really spread those feet. Relax the shoulders down. Just let everything settle for a moment. And then inhale and lift your right heel, placing it on top of your left foot. So open this right knee out to the side. Try and lengthen through the spine, so don't start to slump over to the right. We're keeping the upright spine. Relax the shoulders. And that might be it. You might not want to take your tree pose any further. If you feel that you can, inhale and slide the foot up the inside of the shin. Either place it below the knee or help it up above the knee. Bring your hands to the heart center. So as you're here in your tree pose, find your drishti, your point of focus, and feel that connection with the left foot and the mat. Really plant it into the mat. Check you're not gripping on with those toes. Try and release the toes. And feel the connection with the sole of your right foot and the inside of your thigh. Relax your shoulders. Keep breathing. Well done, everybody. Rock solid trees. On your next inhalation, if you feel you can, release your hands and reach them up into a Y shape. Send those fingers away. Open the fingers, spread them wide. The branches of the tree. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands back to the heart center. Inhale. Exhale, release the foot. Just stand for a moment like this and feel the difference with the two sides of the body. Feel how different the right sole of the foot feels and the left sole of the foot. So let's correct that. Spread the toes wide on the right sole of the right foot, and then lift your left foot as you inhale. Exhale, place the heel on your right foot. Find that straight upright spine, relax the shoulders, send the knee out to the sides. You're already starting to open out this hip. And then slide the foot up the shin, help it up to above the knee, if that feels good. And remember, you've always got the option to put your hand on a chair or the wall. Hands to the heart center. Find your drishti. Really plant that right foot into the mat. Spread the toes wide, don't grip on. Relax the foot. You get much more balance when you relax the foot. You think that if you grip on with the toes, that you'll grip onto that mat and it'll keep you upright, but it actually gives you less of a surface area and you create that tension in your foot. Oh. And remember that one side can be quite different to the other. You're all looking pretty rock solid there today. Let's see if we can challenge with our arms. So inhale, exhale, and reach. Spread the fingers wide, really open out those hands. Inhale, exhale, release your hands, release your feet. Just stand for a moment. Let everything settle. Brilliant. Very good trees this morning. So we're going to do some more strengthening standing poses. So turn to the side of your mat and step your feet wide. So with your feet in this wide position, have the toes pointing out to the at a bit of a diagonal. And then inhale and float your hands up and reach the fingertips away. This is Utthita Hasta Padasana. Reaching the hands away. Really feel that it's opening the chest and the shoulders. Reaching away to this star position. Inhale. And as you exhale, turn the left foot to point towards the short end of the mat and turn the right foot at a 45-degree angle, coming into warrior two. Inhale. As you exhale, bend that left knee, making sure it's not going forward of the heel. Adjust your foot if it is, and sink down through the center. Reach the hands away. Really plant those feet. So check in with your right foot. Is the whole of the sole of the foot resting on the mat, not just the inside of the foot. Imagine I'm pulling you from your fingertips, opening out those arms and shoulders. Take your gaze to the middle finger of your left hand. Inhale. As you exhale, release your hands. Come back to your sideways position. So your toes are pointing out at the diagonal. Inhale and float your hands up once more. Back into Utthita Hasta Padasana. Inhale. Exhale, turn the right foot to the short end of the mat. Turn the left foot in 45 degrees. And as you exhale, sink that right knee. So we're sinking down through the center. We're not shifting forward. The movement is through the center. So check that that knee is not going forward of the ankle. And reach those fingertips away. So don't make this a strain on your neck. The shoulders should be doing the work here. The tops of the shoulders, called the deltoid muscles. Reach them away. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands. Come back to center with the feet. Release the hands out once more. Utthita Hasta Padasana. Take a breath. And then release the hands to your thighs. So point your feet forward, just bring them in a little closer. Hands to the heart center. Just take a breath here. Really plant the feet into the mat. So we're going to do extended side angle next. So you need a block for this. So if you just take your block and place it the left side of your left foot, and it can be whichever height is good for you. So We'll try it at the higher one, and then if it's better lower, we can drop it down. So keeping this wide position, the block is to the left of your left foot. Turn your left foot out to face the block and the small end of the mat, and turn your right foot in 45 degrees. Inhale, and as you exhale, bend that left knee. We're sliding the left hand down to the block, reaching the right hand up and over. So you're creating a straight line from the right fingertips all the way down the side body into the right foot. So by having the block here, that's allowing you to keep your chest open. If you try the block in a different height, you take it down lower, can you see what happens? Your chest will collapse down. So unless you can keep that chest open and still reach, then have the block in the higher position. Take a breath here. Plant the feet into the mat. We're grounding, remember? Inhale, reaching up, sweeping the hands out. Return to the center, hands to the heart center. Take a breath. So we're going to move to the other side. So just take your block to the outside of your right foot. Turn the right foot to face the block. Left foot in 45 degrees. Have your block, whichever height is right for you. Inhale. Bend your knees as you exhale. Reach that right hand down to the block. Left hand sweeps up and over. And one side can feel quite different to the other. So I need the block on a much higher position on this side. Reaching away, find that straight line from your fingertips to your toes. Just having a quick look. That's it. Keep breathing and keep reaching. The hand comes alongside your ear, palm is facing down. Well done. Brilliant. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Exhale, release your toes to face the front, hands to the heart center. And then just walk your feet back in. Find your Tadasana. Standing up straight and tall. So we're going to do another little flow. So come into the top of your mat. Just let everything settle, shoulders are down and relaxed. Inhale, reach your hands up and overhead into a Y shape this time. Reaching them wide. And as you exhale, bring them down through the midline, all the way down to Uttanasana. You should be starting to feel good now. Inhale, take your hands up to your shins, half forward fold. Exhale, back to Uttanasana. Inhale, reaching your hands out wide, bringing the chest up, reaching the hands up to the ceiling. Exhale to the heart center. Step your right leg back. Take your feet wide, so toes pointing out to the side. Inhale the hands out wide. So we're going to come to our triangle pose. We're going to need our blocks once more. So if your block is still over on your right hand side, let's leave it there and we'll work towards that. So inhale. As you exhale, turn your right foot to face the block. Turn the left foot in the 45-degree angle and shift that hip out towards the left side, and then just allow the upper body to rest down towards the mat. So your hand can take hold of that block, or if you can reach the mat while still keeping your chest open, then you can slide your hands down in front of the foot. But it's a good idea to have this block because you can feel the difference with your chest reaching up to the ceiling. So feel that strength in your legs, your balance between the 2 feet, grounding into the mat. And if your neck is good, you can turn your gaze to your raised hand. Inhale, exhale, float your hands back up. Turn your feet, so your left foot is 45 degrees, your right foot is 45, your left is pointing to the side. Make sure your block's in the right position. Do with 2 blocks, couldn't we? So with your feet wide, inhale, exhale, shift that right hip out to the side, tipping the body forward, reaching the hand down to the block or to the mat if you can keep that chest open. Turn your gaze to your right hand. Just having a quick look at you. That's it. So your hands are stacked one on top of the other. You're making a straight line. Well done. Brilliant. Keep those feet planted. Inhale, bring yourself back up to this wide Utthita Hasta Padasana. So turn your feet so that they're on that diagonal, pointing to the corners of the mat. Hands are reaching out. Inhale, exhale, take your hands to your hips and just send your upper body forward. So your hands can either stay on your hips and you're reaching the top of the head out in front of you, or you can take your hands behind you and either interlace the fingers or just hook the thumbs together and reach the hands behind you. Feel how that's opening the chest and squeezing the shoulder blades together. Plant your feet into the mat. Inhale and slowly come up. Take a breath here. As you exhale, send the body forward once more. Really feel that strength in the legs. Plant the feet. Engage your tummy muscles. Reach those hands behind you. Inhale, bring yourself back upright. Exhale, release your hands. So bring your feet back in together. Shimmy them in closer so that we're back in Tadasana, and turn to face the top of the mat. We're going to do our favorite Utkatasana once more. So plant the feet are underneath your hips. Inhale, reach the hands forward. Exhale, sitting down into that imaginary chair. Tuck the hips underneath. Don't create tension in the lower back. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, release the hands back to the thighs. Inhale. As you exhale, step your right leg back. So your left toes are pointing forward. Your right are in warrior one position, so that 45-degree angle. Inhale and sweep your hands up, and exhale as you bend your left knee. So you're reaching into warrior one. So find some length from your fingertips all the way down the spine. Feel that you're keeping all of those energy channels from your fingers, down your arms, your shoulders, all your chakras are lined up, down to your base, the spine, and down the back of the leg. Reaching away. Exhale, release. Inhale and step the right foot forward. Exhale the left leg back. So we're going to do the same here. So your right toes are pointing forward, your left are at 45 degrees. Inhale, reaching the hands up. Exhale, leaning into this warrior one. Finding that length from your fingertips to your back foot. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands. Step the left foot forward. Hands to the heart center. So, I hope you feel well connected to the mat. We've done a lot of strong standing, leg strengthening poses to feel that connection. Release your hands to your sides. Inhale and reach your hands up and overhead. Exhale down to Uttanasana, forward fold. And just release your feet so you come to your all fours position. So we're going to do down dog on our forearms, or it's also known as dolphin. So take your hands at your forearms down to the mat. So your hands, you can interlace the fingers and bring them together in the center and feel that you're making that triangle from your hands to your two elbows. Engage your tummy muscles. Inhale. And as you exhale, come up onto your toes, lift your knees and send your hips up to the ceiling. Feel how the top of your head will start to drop towards the mat. So if you can walk your feet in a little closer, then do that. Otherwise, just stay where you are, finding that strength in the arms. This pose is actually a really good practice pose for headstand. But I'm not going to get you to do that this morning. So release your knees, sink back into child's pose. I think you prefer that one than a headstand this morning. Do it one day though, shall we? Maybe. So just take a breath there. And then slowly bring yourself back up to a kneeling position. So from this kneeling position, just going to face you. Just take your hips and place them to the left-hand side so that your legs, they're still together, but they're over towards the right. And this pose is called Bharadvaja's twist. It's a very strange name. So as you sit here, you can feel that you're dropping your left hip towards the mat. And the right hip is just resting, it's starting to twist around towards your right, at the heels of your feet. So inhale and reach your hands up. And as you exhale, turn to the right and release your hands down to the mat. Release your shoulders. Find that length in the neck. Keep breathing. Inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, place them back in front of you. So adjust your position, come back so that your hips are sitting on your heels, and then allow them to drop to the right hand side. So your hips are on the mat and your heels are now free and released to the left side. So as you inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, twist into the left, dropping the hands towards the mat. Lifting through the head and the neck, find that straight spine. Your gaze is over your left shoulder. You can use your right hand to just hold the outside of your left shin. It helps to bring you around into that twist. And then inhale, float your hands up. Exhale, bring them back to the side. So we got a few more mat-based moves to do. So you just reposition your hips back over your heels. So this one, I'm going to turn to the side. We're going to release one leg in front of us, keeping the other leg bent. Now, if that's no good for you, if your knees are really tight, you can try putting a block between the bent, on the bent leg side. So it's between your hip and your foot, if that really doesn't work for you. And if that still doesn't work for you, then release the bent knee and place the sole of the foot into the inside of the outstretched thigh. So basically that's Janu Sirsasana. But we're going to try this one-legged hero pose if this is good for you. So if you can sit on that left foot, extending the right foot out in front of you, then go for it. And again, you can use a block under your right hip. So you could sit the right hip on the block if that feels better. If you're a bit more flexible in the hips, the hip will drop down to the mat. So do what feels right for you. Inhale and release the hands up, reaching up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, just sending the chest forward, sending the hands towards that foot. So it's one-legged hero pose, Sirsasana. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale and release. So swap the legs over, release the bent one, tuck the other one underneath you. Remember all the options. The block can go under that left hip. This bent leg can go out to the side. And you can have a block under the bent knee. Always use your props to make you comfortable. We never want to be in pain in yoga. So taking your bent leg underneath you. Inhale, release the hands up, find that length in the spine. Reach into the ceiling, reaching all the way out of your shoulders. So your shoulders don't come up with the arms. Breathing in, breathing out, float the hands towards the foot. Just holding that reach. And then inhale and float your hands back upright. Exhale, release. So release your right foot. This time, bend the knee and hug it in close to you. I think I did this with you last week. So the left leg is really well grounded into the mat. Use this right leg to help as you hug the leg to bring your back into that upright position. And you can sit here and just extend the top of the head up to the ceiling. Or maybe you want to try taking your right hand on the inside of your right knee so that your shoulder is in line with that knee, and then the hand comes behind, the left hand comes around to meet it. So it's a little bind there. You can also grab hold of a strap or a jumper, anything between your hands. So as you're doing this, you're really placing the right foot into the mat. You're grounding that foot. The left leg is connected and you lift your chest. Well done. Just take one more breath and just come and look at you again. No. So didn't I explain that well enough? So left leg is out in front of you, right leg is bent, right elbow, you hook inside that leg and then you sweep the hand behind. So you've sort of got to do an internal rotation of that shoulder as the hand comes behind your back pocket, left hand comes around to meet it. Hold in that bind. Or hold your jumper. If you've got a jumper there, you can use that as well, just to help. That's it. See if you can lift your chest. And then release the hands, release the leg. Let's do the same on the other side. So hug the left leg in. Plant that left foot on the mat. You're really stamping that left foot down. Sitting up straight and tall, plant the back of the right foot into the mat. Inhale, send that left elbow to the inside of your left knee. And then and left shoulder goes in towards, the left shoulder is the same height as your left knee. And then sweep the hand out and around. So it's in an internal rotation. You're turning that shoulder down towards the mat and then you sweep it around. The back of your left hand rests on your left back pocket. Right hand sweeps around to meet it. That's it, brilliant. And see if you can lift your chest. So really feel how you're sending the left foot into the mat and the back of the right leg. And then release. Well done. So we'll just have a little release for our chest and our back. So take your knees underneath you. Come into a kneeling position. So Virasana, hero pose. Just sitting your hips down in between your heels. We're not going to stay here long. So if this is uncomfortable for you, don't worry too much because we're going to release our hands behind and just lift our chest, just easing the hips away from the heels. So it's a little bit like camel pose, but not as intense. So your chin is coming towards your chest. Don't drop the head back. Just feel how it's opening the front of the chest and just ease in the back. And then release your hips back to your heels. So release your feet in front of you. Let's come to a seated position. crossing the feet in front. Just find whichever is a comfortable seated position for you. If you want to sit on your block, then that's not a bad idea. And find that comfortable cross-legged position. And before we come down to the mat, we're just going to finish with a little breathing exercise. So if you want to put your layers back on, then please do that, or just drape your blanket around you. So lovely this morning though, isn't it? Don't think we need it. So sitting up straight and tall, allow your shoulders to relax. Send the top of the head up to the ceiling. Find that length in the neck. And we're just going to do a few rounds of Nadi Shodana, alternate nostril breathing. So just allow your left hand to rest in your lap. And with your right hand, we're going to use the thumb and the ring finger. So you can tuck the first two fingers away, or you can point them up and rest them on your forehead. Do whichever is best for you. So we're going to use the thumb to close the right nostril, the ring finger to close the left nostril. The little fingers just hang in there, we don't need it. So just allow your breath to settle. And then close your left nostril with your ring finger, breathing in through the right. Close in the right with the thumb, breathe out through the left. Breathing in through the left. Close the left, open the right, out through the right. In through the right. Close the right, open the left, out through the left. In left. Out through the right. In right. Out through the left. You continue at your own pace. A few more breaths, alternate nostril breathing. Next time you breathe out through the left nostril, just allow your hand to drop down to your lap and let your breath return to normal. And just observe how your body is feeling. So Nadi Shodana breath balances the left and right side of the brain. Bring some clarity and focus. It's a nice practice to do to start the day. And then slowly, with as little disruption as possible, just allow yourself to rest down on the mat for a few moments in Shavasana. Just release your hands to the side of your body, palms facing up. And feel the whole of the back body resting down into the mat. Feel that grounding. Feel that connection. Check in that the back of your head is resting on the mat. You're not tilting your chin up and away. Just take a few breaths here. Remembering our theme for this week was all about grounding in recognition of World Earth Day. And I used a quote from the Buddha, and he said, "Walk softly upon this earth, giving what you can and taking only what you need." Bringing some movement back into your body now. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Rotating your wrists and your ankles. And inhaling and reaching your hands up and overhead to a full body stretch. Exhaling, letting the hands rest on the mat behind you. Inhale and bend your knees. And as you exhale, roll over onto your right hand side. And just hug your knees up closer to your chest. And when you're ready, bring yourself back up to seated. We'll finish with our 3 breaths together. So taking your hands out wide, reaching up and overhead. Exhale to the heart center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Namaste. Well, I hope you all feel well grounded and connected this morning.